Last year, CBS News got a rare and exclusive behind-the-scenes look into the daily lives of the guys who are tomb sentinels, the men and women who help guard the tomb of the unknown soldiers at Arlington National Cemetery. In honor of their dedication and the service of all veterans, we leave you with this report again by CBS News' Fernando Suarez.
This underground facility is located just feet away from the very tombs they help protect, an area that is not open to the public and seldom allows media access.
This is where the guards are at when they're not outside. Exactly.
Sergeant Benton Timms is one of 9 ranking officers in charge of changing out the guards. He has agreed to show us around on his day off, but we quickly realize that his schedule is not like most people's.
Usually for that 24-hour shift, we're going to be up for that entire 24-hour shift.
They work around the clock, starting their day at 5 a.m. and ending their shift at 6 or 7 the next morning. They get one day off in between shift, which sounds manageable, but it's the prep work before the next shift that consumes most of their free time.
This is my changing blouse.
Each guard tediously cares for his own uniform, everything from pressing the pleats on their jackets to measuring their medal placements to 1/64th of an inch.
When I come into work that next work day, I come in here and the first thing I do is I take this blouse out, I hang it up on my locker, and I check everything again. Because maybe overnight, the material might have sagged a little bit and something might be off just slightly. And so we'll go back and we'll recheck again and again.
Tim says the entire process to prepare their uniform, from pressing and steaming to measuring the medals, can take as long as 12 hours for a rookie and about 4 to 8 hours for more experienced soldiers. The bulk of that time, however, is taken up by shining their shoes.
So every day we go back with a boot brush them off, and sand them down with 2,000 grit sandpaper and make sure all the texture's out, and then we'll re-shine them up, and it takes several hours.
They use a similar procedure for their gun holsters and bayonet scabbards, taking this crude green-issued case and turning it into a polished piece that hangs at their side. All of the metal and badges are polished by hand.
You can sit in here for hours and hours and hours on end and still not be to where it needs to be.
Only about 1 in 10 trainees completes the program, making earning the Tomb Guard badge the most difficult badge to obtain in the military. Once enrolled, most serve an average of 1.5 years before the demanding post and the grueling schedule become too much.
Working 24-hour shifts is not for everybody. Measuring everything on your uniform to 1/64th of an inch is not for everybody. Shining shoes with shoe polish, again, that's not for everybody.
It's all done to meet what Timms calls a standard of perfection.
To honor them, we give them our absolute best, and the best thing we can give them is perfection.
Perfection, which means no guard leaves this room without being fully inspected by another soldier. An extreme regimen that on some days can mean changing in and out of their ceremonial blue uniforms up to 23 times in one shift.
When you're spending 6, 7, 8 hours shining those shoes or pressing your blouse back there at 2 o'clock in the morning, you just have to stop, assess why you're doing it, what they gave up. And well, hey, spending 6 hours on my shoes is the least I can do for these guys who gave up their identities.
When night falls, the vigil continues, but the ceremonial blue uniforms are hung up. Instead, guards don standard Army combat uniforms to protect the tomb when the cemetery closes. In the morning, they will reset the clock and do it all over again. Fernando Suarez, CBS News, Arlington National Cemetery.